Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Road America for the Badgerland 120 Stars and Stripes Next Gen Series right here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Coming up next, you're watching Courtney Nelson, the Road Goat, out here putting on a clinic with the quick time 2:11.1. Stay tuned here. We'll be back shortly here in about 4 minutes or so for some qualifying action. Appreciate you tuning in. Thursday night racing, Hutchinson Motorsports TV coming up next. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude Road America practice. It's official. Courtney Nelson, top of the board, 2:11.15, quick time, and it's not even close. He might run away with it here tonight, folks. But we're jumping straight into qualifying action here. We got about 20 cars or so signed in tonight here. Road America, the Badgerland 120. We're going to have no cautions tonight. Should be an interesting one. Let's see who the first cars to hit the track are. We got William Duff, the fourth, in that junk Landshark number 17 machine. I have a feeling that William Duff is no road course ringer. The GOAT, Scott Rickard out here. He's been in a cold spell lately. Been a long time for the GOAT to get in the victory lane. He'd love to break that stretch here tonight. Dylan Grimm out here looked like a clown earlier in practice. I tell you what, he is an absolute wheelman on 99% of the tracks we run. But, folks, it appears this is not one of them. Dylan Grimm looking like junk. Aaron Hale out here already junked it. Boy, I tell you what, that 4-car is in trouble tonight because it is, say it with me, junk. We got Nate Lynch out here in the Bitcoin 25 machine. Nate Lynch looked pretty slow in practice. Let's see if he can continue that trend here in the qualifying. We're going to hop on board with the slow number 25 machine, Nate Lynch. Lynch on his out lap right now, the Manchester Iowan. 14 siblings, the Lynch brothers. Boy, Nate grew up picking corn in the cornfields of Iowa and not even close to making that corner. Boy, it's going to be a long night for Mr. Nate Lynch in the Bitcoin 25 machine. Ben Shepard out here with the Arial font number 69 machine. One of the most boring paint schemes and numbers out there. Ben Shepard, the field filler. Kyle Bolin out here, the number 44 Pepsi machine. Kyle's been running pretty solid here lately. Looking to carry some big speed here through turn who knows what. Speaking of which, you know what? Hutchinson Motorsports TV, since we cut no corners here, folks, look what we have. We've got the Hutchinson Motorsports track cam. There it is. Look at that. That's what the track looks like, folks. And during the race, you'll see their little emblem moving around the track, but it doesn't work in qualifying. Trey Jackson out here, the number 5 machine out of Mayo, Florida. Trey looking for a good run here tonight. The Nationwide is on your side. Number 5 machine, Trey Jackson. Then we got the 3-car, Christian Lawson. The Brooklyn Iowan. Lawson, we'll see what he's got for us tonight, warming up them tires here on his out lap. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it's the gambling man, Tom Ogle, the number 11 machine. Look at the paint scheme here tonight. We got all kinds of stuff on the track. From the trees, what a beautiful day here. Road America, as Tom Ogle flies off the track. Junk. Dylan Hoffman out here, number 15 machine. Looked pretty strong in qualifying. See what he's got for us, though. But, folks, I'll tell you what. This man right here is in another zip code. Is Courtney Nelson, the road goat. The number 29 good wrench machine of Courtney Nelson, wheeling and dealing in practice. He wants that pole so he can just run away from these clowns. They say Courtney Nelson is actually European. That's why he's so good at these road courses. Let's hop on board with the 29 machine. Courtney Nelson here out of Grand Junction, Colorado. Heading in the corner, who knows what. Turning left, folks. I'm not going to lie, I just bought this track. I never ran here. Never been here, first time. Not going to lie, this place is kind of a dump. Let's go up to the Hutchinson Motorsports blimp. Here it is. Here at Road America, watching the road goat, Courtney Nelson. I'm sure he's going to get quick time. We're just waiting for it to become official. Don't know what corner he's in. Don't know how many more till he crosses the start-finish line. But all I know is you're about to see that 29 car up front and on the pole. Brian Lynch out here, the number 24 machine. A little different paint scheme here tonight for Mr. Lynch. 14 brothers growing up. Brian Lynch, I tell you what, he can handle an ear of corn like no other. Brian Lynch. William Duff to fourth. That Landshark 17 car looking pretty slow here tonight, not going to lie. Finally, some cars crossing the line here, putting down some times. 2:13 for Mr. Kyle Bolin and the GOAT Scott Rickard right behind him. But, folks, if I remember right, Courtney Nelson was running 2:11s in practice. So he's going to be 2 seconds faster in the field. Last season's points champion, Josh Robinson out here in the Canton, Ohioan. What does Robinson have here at Road America? Who knows? Nelson crossing the line, 2:11.61 for his first lap. He's just getting warmed up, folks. Absolute wheelman here. Christian Lawson crossing the line in second place. 2:13.10 for Mr. Christian Lawson in the number 3 machine. But, folks, we're going to get some Hutchinson Motorsports tunes playing here. Kick back and relax as we watch Courtney Nelson put down the quick time here. We'll be back here in a moment. Green flag action coming up next here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. junk. Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Courtney Nelson, quick time, 30 laps, Badgerland 120, right here. Road America, coming up next. Time to grid it up here. Let's get your starting lineup showing. For you great fans at home, Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. Badgerland 120 coming up now. Here's your starting lineup. Row number 1, front row inside. He's on the pole tonight. It's the 29, the Road Goat, Courtney Nelson. 2 is outside, the 05. He's the GOAT. It's Scott Rickard. Row number 2 on the inside, the 44, Kyle Bowling. 2 is outside, the 15, Dylan Hoffman. Row number 3 on the inside, going to be the number 3 machine, Christian Lawson. 2 is outside, the Gambling Man. Number 11, Tom Ogle. Row number 4 on the inside, the number 5 machine, Nationwide, Trey Jackson. 2 is outside, the 24, Brian Lynch. Row number 5 on the inside, going to be the number 8, Josh Gratton. 2 is outside, the 4, Aaron Hale. Row number 6 on the inside, the number 46, Jason Gratton. 2 is outside, the number 23, Dylan Grimm. Going further back in the field, we have some non-qualifiers here tonight. The number 9 machine, Zach Crichton, starting the 13th position. 2 is outside, the 36, Chad White. Starting 15th, this is the ladies' man's brother, the 18, Gavin Salyer. 2 is outside, last season's champion, looking like junk here tonight. It's the 30, Josh Robinson. We're going to round out the field here tonight. Starting 17 to the number 17 machine. It's William Duff, the 4. 2 is outside, the 25, Nate Lynch. And in the back, the last row. The battle for last is going to be a good one tonight, folks. The number 69, Ben Shepard, starting 19th. And starting shotgun, dead last, the number 77, Larry Griffin III. There's your starting lineup here tonight. 20 cars taking the call. Who's going to park it in victory lane? I think I know the answer to that, folks. And let's be honest, you do too. Let us know in the chat, though, who you pulling for. What do you want to see? I want to see somebody flip it here. Road America, Badgerland 120 coming up next. No cautions here tonight. No yellows, no stage breaks, nothing but green flag racing here. Thursday night racing. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. As we're still on our out lap here, look at these beautiful graphics we got here as the pace car goes down pit road. The field is set, front row, it's a row of goats. On the inside, the Road Goat, Courtney Nelson. The outside, the GOAT, period, Scott Rickard. Who's going to win it here tonight? Green flag in the air, Road America. It's a drag race down the front stretch, heading into turn 1. You know somebody's junking it. Who's going to fly off the track here in turn 1? Nelson has the position. He's going to hold on to the race lead. Dropping back to the field. Nobody's fell off the track yet, which is surprising. Oh, we got one. One of them went off the track. Don't know who. Didn't take long. It's Courtney Nelson. We thought he was a road go, but a big mistake there in turn 1. Our race leader dropping back to 8th there. We know he's got the speed, though. Plenty of time. Courtney Nelson going to have to get back into cruise control here. Let's rewind it a bit and see what happened here when Courtney Nelson flew off the track. That is not a good view there. Here it is. Nelson heading into turn 1. Just dipped his right tire there into the grass. Loses it. Goes wide into the sand. Loses 8 spots. So that's going to make the GOAT Scott Rickard your race leader. He's saying, throw the checkered, boys. Let's end it. Scott Rickard, it's been a while since he's been in victory lane. We'd love to see him back. Looking through the field here. Tom Ogle currently running in the 5th spot. And then we got Lawson in 4th. Let's see what's going on here. Looks like Aaron Hale fell off the track earlier. So he's currently in last. Right in front of him, Josh Robinson. Tell you what, Robinson is no road course ringer. That 30 car is slow here tonight at Road America. But I'll tell you who's not slow. It's that 05 machine. Scott Rickard out here wheeling and dealing. He is your race leader for now. Meanwhile, Courtney Nelson working himself back up through the field after dropping back to 8th. Currently up to 6th here. Let's hop on board with the 29 of Courtney Nelson. See how he elects to navigate through the field. And we're going to find out where his speed comes from here. We saw he gained a lot of ground there on entry on Ogle. Side by side down the front stretch here. Nelson going to take over the 5th spot. Dylan Grimm just junked it and he towed it back into the pits, folks. Grimm is finished. That didn't take long. Let's see what happened here. Here's a replay. Oh, the 23. Here he is. Stuffed into the wall. Oh, my. He's junked it. So here it is. Going into the corner. Loses it. And bam, straight into the wall. He's toast. Motor blew up. His night's finished. He towed it right here. There he goes. So we're going back live here. Scott Rickard still out front. The 05 machine, he's got a 1.3 second lead. He wants to gain every inch he can while the 29 and Nelson has to navigate through the field. Currently, Nelson back up to the 4th spot. So we're just here in lap number 2 out of 30 here. Stars and Stripes Next Gen Series, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. You're watching the Badgerland 120 here, Road America. Beautiful track here in front of a sold-out crowd on the world's #1 streaming service. What more could you ask for, folks? Larry Griffin, the 3rd, he just junked it. Let's see what happened. These guys junking it all over the track. Here's Larry Griffin, the Cornelius, North Carolina native. Well, there it is. Not sure what happened there. All I know is he's in the back. But meanwhile, Scott Rickard out front here. Your race leader got a 2.1 second lead. But here comes Courtney Nelson through the field. Still currently in 4th. Going to work here on the 44 of Kyle Bowling. An early mistake by Nelson having to overcome. We had a mistake earlier, shared the wrong link to the race. So a lot of our normal fans are not in the chat here. They'll have to rewatch this one or join in late. But we're here at the Badgerland 120. Lap number 3 underway out of 30. We are just about 10% of the way done. Stars and Stripes Next Gen Series racing right here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Where else would you rather see this kind of racing, folks? I'll give you the answer. The answer is never and nowhere. Courtney Nelson up to the 3rd spot. But he's going to work here on the back bumper of the 15 machine. That's Dylan Hoffman trying to hold him off. He knows he's not going to be able to. You're just going to have to let that 29 go. Out of the corner, side by side, Nelson taking over the 2nd spot. So Nelson about 3 seconds behind your race leader. Let's see how long it takes him to trim that 3-second lead. Look how much he's sending it here in these corners. Don't know what it is, but Courtney Nelson has something figured out here on these road courses in this next-gen cars. As we look around the speedway, let's see what else is going on. We got Christian Lawson in the 5th spot. Then we got Bowling in the 4th spot. Dropping back here, Josh Robinson currently running a solid 17th. The Micro Center 30 machine is struggling here at Road America. Nate Lynch up to 11th here. Wheeling and dealing. Nate Lynch, he's gained 7 spots at the start of this race. How about it? Boy, I thought that 25 was going to be junk here tonight, but he is slicing and dicing his way through the field. The Manchester, Iowan, Nate Lynch. Going into the DRS zone. See if he turns on that DRS to gain some ground. But right behind him, it's the ladies' man's brother, Gavin Salyer. And up in the 8th spot, we got the 24 of Brian Lynch, the Manchester, Iowa native. Let's hop on board with that 24 machine. See what Brian Lynch has up his sleeve here. Going to work on the 5 of Trey Jackson. As we head back up front, race lead currently down to 1.8 seconds. Courtney Nelson chipping away. Just a matter of time before Nelson takes over that top spot. But here, this is, I believe, our second road course of the season. Not as much side-by-side door-banging action here in these road course races, but we do the best we can here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. That's why we're the world's #1 streaming service right there, folks. But let us know in the chat once you get tuned in. Who are you pulling for? Chad White currently running in the 8th spot. Love to see Chad pull out a top 10 here. He's had some bad luck throughout this season. But, folks, while we're running here, let's pull up our point standings here. Let's see what the playoff picture's looking like. Here it is. That cut line getting awful close there. William Duff, the first car out. Then we got Will Bustler, Aaron Hale, and Josh Whitaker. Out of those 4 that are out there, Duff and Hale are the only 2 that have attended this race. So Kyle Bolin holding on to that spot here. And a good run for him tonight. He's going to pad that gap there between him and the next car out. But you see here, Dylan Hoffman locked in twice apparently. This point standings came from Brian Lynch. Dylan Hoffman, he's clinched it twice. Thanks for these graphics, Brian. I believe the second car there is actually this Dylan Hoffman. The 23 is supposed to be Dylan Grimm. So Grimm's locked in. He's got 4 wins on the season. He's already out of this race. But there you have it. That's your points standing there. Next week we're going to be at Darlington for the Southern 200 here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Be sure to tune into that one, folks, as we check out the race lead. Scott Rickard right in front of that 29 machine. Courtney Nelson now going to be going to work here on Rickard. Took him a couple laps, but he was able to reel him in fairly quickly. Bumper-to-bumper battle for the race lead. The 29 of Nelson looking for a way around that 05 machine. Rickard making that car as wide as he can. Wants to hold on to that lead, but it's going to be tough with the speed that 29 car has. Larry Griffin's flying off the track here. He's probably came off the track about, I'd say 15 times already. I believe Duff, the 4th, junked it a minute ago as well. So these guys in the back putting on a clinic. Let's see what William Duff did to junk that thing. Here's 17, the Land Shark 17 machine. Yep, just locked it up there coming down the hill. Not the first car to do that. Stuffs it into the wall. Not a fun night there for the 17. But Courtney Nelson still looking for a way around that 05 machine to take over the race lead. The Grand Junction, Colorado native, Courtney Nelson here. He was hooked up in bad fast and practice and qualifying. Had a big mistake here on lap number 1 going into turn 1. Lost 8 spots. Has worked himself back up through the field, looking to take over the race lead here shortly. Meanwhile, I believe William Duff junked it once again. But we're here, lap number 6 out of 30. Nothing but green flag racing here tonight. Gonna have no cautions, no stage breaks. Going to be interesting to see when these guys elect to come down pit road. Most of these guys are going to want to break this stage into half here. So you're going to see, I believe the pit window is going to be between lap 13 and 17. And here comes Nelson looking to get to the inside of Rickard, unable to do so. Rickard doing a good job defending that race lead for now. We're going to stay tuned here in this battle for the race lead as Hoffman hangs on to the third spot, followed by Bowling, Ogle, Lynch, Jackson, White, Grattan, and Salyer to round out your top 10. So we're going to take a minute, take a short break here. Don't you worry, you're not going to miss a lap. We're going to stay side by side right here on the track. Get the Hutchinson Motorsports tunes playing in the background. We'll be back here shortly. Appreciate you tuning in. Thursday Night Racing. Stars and Stripes Next Gen Series. Badgerland 120. As we return back from the break, Courtney Nelson taking over the race lead. We got some other battles here on the track. As Zach Kreitz going around at 25 and Nate Lynch. Nate Lynch is your hard charger of the race so far. He's gained 7 spots since the start of this race. But another good run here. The 36 of Chad White. He's passed 6 cars up to the 8th position. The Loudon Tennessean figuring this place out here slowly but surely. Out front, Courtney Nelson putting on about a 6/10 of a second lead on the GOAT, Scott Rickard. I was impressed, though. Rickard was able to hold off Nelson for quite a bit longer than I expected. Put down some good laps there as well. Actually put down the fastest lap of the session, 2:12.03, which was actually Courtney Nelson put down a 2:12.02. So both within a 100th of each other. They were doing some hard racing there, bumper to bumper, for a few laps. Little different strategy there. You see the 29 and Nelson go out as wide as he can there heading into the corner. I believe that's turn 3. So the race lead, still kind of a battle here, about a second gap between the two. As we're dropping back here to Gambling Man Tom Ogle, currently running 5th. Going to work on the 15 machine. That's Dylan Hoffman. Let's hop on board with this 11 car of Tom Ogle. See if he's got anything for the 15. We're here, Road America Badgerland 120 here. Appreciate you tuning in, spending your Thursday night right here. With yours truly, the go-to broadcasting, Blake Hutchinson here with Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service, folks. Quit wasting your money on junk streaming services. All you need right here, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. It's free. Largest racing library in the world, 100% confirmed. If you got Netflix, get rid of it. You don't need it. You're wasting your money. Hulu, get it gone. Amazon Prime TV, you don't need it anymore, folks. It's all a waste of money because you don't have time to watch that stuff. Because Hutchinson Motorsports TV, we've got about 125 to 150 broadcasts right here in our library. Unbelievable. You can watch anything from Truck Series in the past. We got some late model racing, Cup Series, Xfinity Series, all kinds of good stuff. We got some dirt races, but I think that's on a different page. But meanwhile, Kyle Bolin currently running 3rd, trying to hold off that 15 car of Dylan Hoffman. As our race leader, Courtney Nelson, just put down the fastest lap of the session, a 2:11.89. Scott Rickard put down a 2:12.03, so he's only a couple tenths off. Rickard running a great race, but tell you what, Nelson is just an alien here. The road course ringer out front, Courtney Nelson. Scott liked his chances coming into this race, I think. But he didn't know we had an alien entering the race. He's doing all he can here as we're here in lap number 10 out of 30. As we check out the battle for last, we got a few cars out, but technically the battle for last is going to go to this man right here, William Duff the 4th. He's the last car out there on the track. And in front of him, Jason Gratton of Pittsfield, Illinois, and looking slow here tonight. That Raptor 46 machine is junk. Then we got the Ariel Font number 69 machine, Ben Shepard. Last season's points champion. Terrible at road courses, apparently. It's a 30 car, Josh Robinson. Then we're up to the 12th spot here. Aaron Hale in the number 4 car. Colesburg, Iowan. Aaron Hale. Running 11th, it's 8. The Hillsboro, Missourian, Josh Gratton. Then your 10th place car, the 25, and Nate Lynch. He's passed 8 cars since the start of this race. In front of him, going to be Zach Kreitz in the 9 car, up to the 9th position. Then Chad White, 8th, followed by Trey Jackson, Brian Lynch. Up to 5th here, Tom Ogle. Still trying to go to work here and maintain pace with that 15 car. Then we got a little bit of a battle here for third. In the fourth spot, it's Dylan Hoffman, and in third, Kyle Bowen. Then we got our race leader, Scott Rickard, in the second spot, and Courtney Nelson, your race leader. These two still bumper to bumper almost as they're heading into turn 2. So we're going to hop on board with your race leader, Courtney Nelson. Get your notepad out, folks. If you want to know how to get around these road courses, you need to take some notes here because you're watching the man, the myth, the legend, Courtney Nelson, the road course ringer. Be sure to click the like button on the video, subscribe to the page. Why would you not? We're up to about 215 subscribers. Wow. That's got to be the biggest YouTube channel on earth. 100% confirmed. Look out, Mr. Beast, because Hutchinson Motorsports TV is coming. So the GOAT Scott Rickard here, still going to work, trying to maintain pace. Just put down a 2:12.65, which is actually faster than your race leader. So has a little bit better pace right now. See if he can keep it up. But we know our pit cycle is going to be starting here in the next few laps. Once again, no cautions here tonight. We're going to have a lap car coming up here already. We're on board with the race leader, Courtney Nelson. He's got William Duff, the fourth, in front of him. See if we can spot William flying off the track here shortly. He's done it a handful of times already, folks. Wouldn't shock me to see again. And he just went off track. There he is, the number 17 car, William Duff, right on cue. Flying off track. Attaboy, William. Keep it rolling, though, bud. So Nelson holding on to the race lead up to almost 2 seconds. Rickard was able to maintain pace for a while, but not for long. Hoffman falling back to the 5th spot as Ogle passes him to get in the 4th. Gavin Salyer just junked it. Let's see what happened here. Here's the 18 car, the ladies' man's brother, Gavin Salyer. Just loops it. Able to keep it rolling. So as we look through the field here, Nate Lynch still running in the 10th position. Your hard charger, he's passed 8 cars. See if Lynch can keep it rolling. Ben Shepard, first car to come down pit lane. So Shepard pitting a little early, trying to change it up. Not many battles on the speedway right now. Here's the closest one. This is going to be a battle for the 12th spot between Josh Robinson and Aaron Hale. Once again, road course action here tonight. Not a ton of action here. A little bit different racing. More strategic. Less mayhem as the 4 car flies off the track. Lets the 30 go by. That's going to give Robinson the 12th spot. Next closest battle, right here. This is going to be a battle for the 9th position. Zach Kreitz, currently ahead of Nate Lynch. Ben Shepard just flew off the track. Able to keep it rolling. But your race leader, Courtney Nelson, out to about 2.5 seconds on Rickard in the 2nd spot. Duff, the 4th, just junked it again. Let's see what happened. Boy, it's been a rough night here for that 17. Just a matter of time before he calls it a night, I think. Oh, wow. That's scary. 17, throwing sliders. As we check out Brian Lynch, currently sitting in the 6th spot. Good run so far for Mr. Lynch in the Hooters Major League number 24 machine tonight. Brian Lynch is apparently a White Sox fan. It's news to me. I didn't know they had fans. But Brian Lynch is one of them, apparently. It's got to be tough. Imagine being a White Sox fan. Probably the worst franchise in all of baseball. Brian Lynch. Oh, Chad White flies off the track. Let's see what happened there for Chad. I think he wasn't even close. Oh, yeah, just lost the rear end there. Loses all kinds of ground. I will say Scott Rickard doing a pretty good job keeping your race leader in vision. 2.5 seconds separate the two as we're nearly halfway done. And we're waiting for these guys to pit. I'd say here in the next couple laps, you can see these guys come down pit road, split this race into halves. We know there's going to be no cautions, so there's no reason to stay out there on old tires too long. As we watch Courtney Nelson out here in the race lead, the number 29 car. He's been the best car all night long. Fastest car in practice. Had a big mistake heading into turn 1 here on the first lap. Lost about 8 spots. Worked himself back up to the field rather quickly as him and the 05er Rickard duked it out for a few laps. Here's Tom Ogle still sitting in the 4th position. Field's starting to get a little bit stretched out here. You got the 7th place car, Trey Jackson, over a minute behind your race leaders. My guess is they're probably going to lap up to about 6th or 5th place. Definitely 6th place, I'd say. Maybe up to 5th. But here on lap 15, let's see who elects to come down pit road. I guarantee at least a few of them are going to. But meanwhile, we'll pull up some race info here. It's Stars and Stripes Next Gen Series, Road America. Here we are. We're in Wisconsin. About a 4-mile track. Temperature on the track, 91 degrees. Pretty warm out here. Elkhart Lake, middle of nowhere. Ignore the Miami 200 logo there in the top left. We forgot to change one. But there's your race info. Chad White coming down pit road. Might be the only one. Looks like it's just Chad White for now coming down pit lane. This next lap around is going to officially be the midpoint. We're going to show some sector times for you, because why not? So look at the differences here. Pretty interesting here. Sector 1, you got Nelson. A little bit faster than Rickard. Rickard actually a 10th faster there in number 2. Then Nelson a bit faster in 3. 4 is pretty even. Scott Rickard actually a little bit faster than your race leader right now. As William Duff, the 4th, just junked it again. Let's see what he did. Let's see if he did something special here. William Duff, the 4th here in the number 17 machine. Let's give him some TV time. He's earned it. The Mooresville, North Carolina. Just loops it around. Nothing big there. As he continues to run. Gavin Salyer down pit road in that slow junk number 18 machine. Race leader coming up on Chad White. White just went down pit road last lap. Got himself some fresh Goodyears and Sunoco fuel. The Havoline 36 machine. Trying to stay on the lead lap. As Courtney Nelson in the 29 car. Trying to find his way around him. So here's Scott Rickard losing some time on the race leader. We're looking at your Hutchinson Motorsports sector times. Brought to you by the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Where else would you rather see some racing? Best racing in the business right here. Actually, the only racing I'll watch. On Sundays, there's a lot of these guys like to watch a NASCAR race. I just rewatch my broadcast from the week. That's all that really matters. Who needs NASCAR when you got Hutchinson Motorsports TV? Just a better version. We got Zach Kreitz going down pit lane, as well as William Duff, the 4th. He needs them fresh tires so he can fly off the track. Let's hop on board your second place car. Scott Rickard, the GOAT. 3 seconds separates him and your race leader. He needs Courtney Nelson to blow his motor. That's what that 05 car is looking forward to. You never know, maybe they can put some sugar in the gas can. No telling what the 05 of Rickard has up his sleeve. But he's not going to give up. We know that. Ogle and Hoffman both coming down pit lane here on lap 17. Well as Ben Shepherd. Slowly but surely, the entire field starting to pit. Zach Kreitz currently running 12th. Nate Lynch up to the 8th spot here as we continue through our pit cycle. Not a lot of action going on the speedway. So we're just winging it up here in the booth. We're here at Crystal Lake, Wisconsin for the Badgerland 120. World's #1 streaming service. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Be sure, folks, click the like button on the video. Subscribe to the page. We could use it. Otherwise, I might start charging for these broadcasts, folks. I might charge you to watch this greatness. Why would I not? But your race leader, Courtney Nelson, still continues to put some cars lap down. Working on a 4-car Aaron Hale. Just get out of the way, loser. You're slow. Blows by him. Aaron Hale going down a lap. So we're here, lap number 18. Your race leader, Courtney Nelson, says, I don't need tires yet, bub. He's going to stay out as long as he can. Kyle Bowen in third place coming down pit lane. So that's going to move Brian Lynch possibly up to the third spot. Here comes Brian Lynch. Looks like Kyle Bolin comes off a pit road in front of him still. So Bolin hanging on to his third spot, but he has pit. But your top two here, Scott Rickard and Courtney Nelson, neither of them have elected to come down pit lane yet. Lap number 18 out of 30. Just about 12 laps left to go here. We're still waiting for our race leaders to come down pit lane. I believe everybody's pit except them. So let's double check. Let's pull up the Hutchinson Motorsports pit strategy board. And I'd be wrong, folks. See, Nelson, Rickard, Brian Lynch, Trey Jackson, and Nate Lynch, none of them have come down pit lane yet. Nelson's not really lost much speed. Last lap around there was a 2:12.8. Same with Rickard. He ran a 2:12.7. So not much tire fall off here, surprisingly. So I think that's why these guys are electing just to stay out there until they got to come down pit lane and get them some fuel. So we're going to take a short break here and be back here in a minute. Appreciate you tuning in. Thursday Night Racing Stars and Stripes Next Gen Series. Enjoy. We'll be back. As we return back from break, we got another battle for the race lead here. We saw our 2 race leaders come down pit lane the same lap, a little bit different strategy. Rickard in the 05 elected to get no tires while Nelson got 4. So Rickard took over the race lead, but Courtney Nelson knocking on that back bumper. Has the fresher tires, which surprisingly don't make much of a difference here, it appears. But Nelson making the move for the race lead here, side by side. Looks like he's going to make the pass as Rickard stuck on the outside. Courtney Nelson back into the race lead. Rickard throwing a haymaker there on the move with getting no tires. Was definitely worth a shot. I think he knew if he would have got 4 tires on the same strategy as the 29, he wouldn't have had a shot. But 9 laps left to go here. The Badgerland 120 Stars and Stripes Next Gen Series action right here at Road America. Appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to click the like button on the video. Subscribe to the page. Trey Griffin in the chat says, that track is junk. Trey, I'm going to have to agree with you, bud. Can't say I've ran it. I am not a road course racer. I actually just bought this track right before the broadcast. First time here. Hopefully it's the last. But your race leader, the 29, Courtney Nelson, the road goat. Working his way through the track here. Pull up your Hutchinson Motorsports track map. Going into the final corner. Going to be 8 laps left to go this time around. In front of a sold-out crowd here. Crystal Lake, Wisconsin. Who knows where that is? Because I sure don't. 8 to go here. Let's look to the field, see what else is going on. Chad White currently running 11th. Well done, Chad. About to get lapped. Courtney Nelson just put down the fastest lap of the session, a 2:11.88. Aaron Hale just junked it. Let's see what he did. Here's 4 car. It's a replay. Well, we saw a lot of guys fly off the track right there. That's the tricky part. But Courtney Nelson out front by about 0.8 of a second, holding off the 05. Has the fresher tires and the track position. It's his race to win here. Once again, folks, be sure to click the like button on the video. Subscribe to the page, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We're here doing some road course racing. We're getting through it. Next week, we're going to be at Darlington. Looks like Rickard making a move here. Back to the back bumper of Courtney Nelson. A little bit of a slip up by Nelson. He can't afford to do too many of them. Rickard driving his heart out here tonight. Would love to park that thing in victory lane. I'm kind of surprised, honestly. I honestly expected Courtney Nelson to run away with this thing. And Rickard making a move. Side by side battle for the race lead. Through the S's, if you want to call it. Rickard doing the crossover. Can Rickard get to the inside, heading into the final corner on the track? No, sir. Kicks it to the outside. Rickard giving it everything he's got. 7 laps left to go. Rickard almost lost it there. Shipping that thing out there on the curb. What a move by the 05. Well, at least we got a bit of a battle here for the race lead as Nelson continues to hold them all. Meanwhile, Zach Wright's in the 8th spot. Then we got Nate Lynch 9th and Josh Robinson 10th. Boy, I tell you what, that 05 car will not give it up. Scott Rickard on the older tires, making them stick. Last lap around the speedway was actually faster than your race leader. As we get to the lap traffic here, see if that spices things up. Bumper to bumper, battling it out. Scott Rickard giving it everything he's got. Let's hop on board with that 05 machine. The GOAT, Scott Rickard. Oh, trouble for the race leader. The 29 into the wall. Uh-oh, that's a big mistake. Hopefully he doesn't have damage. Not sure what happened there. Courtney Nelson just loses it and stuffs it into the wall. Oh, my. Serious damage for the 29. That's going to end Nelson's chances to win this thing. Let's rewind it and see what happened there. Unfortunate there. This was his race to win. Here it is. Let's get a better view. Let's go to the Hutchinson Motorsports shopper cam. Best shopper cam in the business. Here it is. So here's the 29. Yeah, he just overshoots the corner there. Stuffs the left front of the wall. Rickard makes the pass for the lead. Then the 29 unable to turn it here in the next big corner. He just locked the brakes up there. Loses a lot of ground. So going back live now, he is 8 seconds behind Rickard. So Scott Rickard taking control of this race now. Let's see if Nelson can get it back together here. See if he can start chipping away. I'm not sure. Race lead at 7.9 seconds right now with 6 laps left to go. Plenty of time, though, if Nelson can get that thing back rolling. We'll keep an eye on lap times here. Boy, it's been a cold spell for Rickard. He's been putting the pressure on all night long. Finally had a mistake there by the 29, and Nelson takes over the race lead. He's on old tires, and he's working through some lap traffic right now. There's Zach Kreitz in the 8th position. Scott Rickard able to make the pass as Kreitz pulls over, lets him go. So 7 cars left on the lead lap. Nelson looks to be losing more ground. I think he's got some damage here in that left front. Absolutely smoked the wall there earlier. Yeah, I think he's struggling to get around the track. So this is Rickard's race to win. Boy, the one thing that Nelson couldn't afford to do, unfortunately, happens. That's why we run the race, though, folks. Rickard's been running a hell of a race all night long. Able to finally take back the race lead. And there's no looking back now. Going to be 5 laps left to go here shortly. Can the cold spell finally end for the GOAT, Scott Rickard? It's been a while since he's been in victory lane. The heavy favorite, Courtney Nelson, slipping up just a little bit, and that's all Rickard needed as he's starting to pull away even more with the damage on the 29 car. Meanwhile, Gavin Salyer just junked it. Let's see what he did. Just looped it. Junk. Looked like Nelson flew off the track again. Oh, my. Yeah, this has gotten tough for the 29. We know he's got some damage now. That thing's tough to wheel right now. So he's just going to have to try and hold on to that second spot, as Kyle Boland's only about 13 seconds behind him. 5 to go here. Scott Rickard out front by over 13 seconds. Nelson trying to limp to the finish here with that 29 car with some serious damage. He's struggling now. Moving the race, though, for Rickard, I think it was a smart call. Coming down pit lane, getting no tires. Fuel only stop for Rickard. Was able to reinsert himself into this battle for the lead, put the pressure on Nelson, and Nelson slipped up just a little bit enough to stuff it into the wall. If Rickard wouldn't have done the pit move, I don't think Nelson would have had the pressure he had. But we still got 4.5 to go here. See if Rickard can hold on. In the third spot, though, we still got Kyle Bolin. A good run for the 44 of Bolin. He needed that. He needed it tonight, as he's right here on the cut line for the playoffs. Dylan Hoffman, been a quiet night for him, but fourth place run, not too shabby. As right behind him, Tom Ogle. We're going to have a battle for fourth here shortly. And then about a country mile behind these two, Brian Lynch in the 24 machine running sixth. But we go back to your race leader, Scott Rickard, with 4 laps left to go. What a night for Rickard. Tell you what, in practice, it didn't look like he had a prayer to keep up with that 29. But he's been sticking with it all night long. Makes a good pit call. A little bit of luck and a lot of skill. The 05 of Rickard finding himself out front with just 3.5 laps left to go. Really don't have any battles on the track. The main battle is right here between Ogle and Hoffman. You want to call it that. So with 4 laps left to go, we're going to take one more short break, folks. We'll be back here for the finish of this one. Stars and Stripes Next Gen Series Badgerland 120, the finish coming up next. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We return back from break here. Just 2 laps left to go for Scott Rickard, the GOAT. Out front here. 16-second lead. A little bit of strategy for Rickard paying off. But he's been bad fast all night long. Been a 2-car race the entire race. Unfortunately, Courtney Nelson making a little mistake there, getting into the wall. Trying to limp to the finish now as he continues to lose pace. Off your race leader, Scott Rickard. Rickard heading into the loop here. 1.5 laps left to go. It's been a long, cold spell for the 05 of Rickard. There at the beginning of last season, it seemed like we were going to be seeing Scott in victory lane every single week. But, boy, it's been a while. He hasn't been there probably in about 20 races, I would bet. Looking at in the cold spell, the GOAT, Scott Rickard. Wheeling and dealing that race car here. About to go through the S-turn here. Coming to the white flag this time around. Let's hop on board with your race leader, Scott Rickard, the GOAT in the 05 Tire Pros machine. Going through the grass a little bit there. Rickard taking the short way around the track. Down the long front stretch. Past the NTT data sign. There it is. White flag in the air. The GOAT, Scott Rickard. One more lap to go before he parks it in victory lane. Heading into turn 1. Nice and easy for that 05 car. Scott Rickard has a 21-second gap between him and the second place car of Courtney Nelson. We're going to stay tuned right here on your race leader. There's really no battles on the track anyways. In front of this sold-out crowd here, we're going to hop back on board with the GOAT. Rickard taking it easy. All the way down to first gear. Going by the Corvette overpass. Well, I tell you what, Courtney Nelson is struggling now with that damaged car. He might actually lose the second spot as Kyle Bolin is reeling him in big time. The gap between second and third all the way down to about a second and a half. Kyle Bolin on the white flag lap. Is he going to be able to get around that 29 car? Courtney Nelson trying to limp to the finish with the damaged car. Bolin has him in his sights. Can he make the pass for second place? Boy, last lap around the speedway, Nelson put down a 2:17. Bolin had a 2:13. So if this pace keeps up, we're going to have a battle here by the finish of this lap. As the GOAT, Scott Rickard, coming through the S's into the final corner of the race. Clean air in front of him. Onto the front stretch for the final time. The 05 Scott Rickard. Checkered flag waving in the air. The cold spell has ended. Scott Rickard wins it at Road America. As we drop back here in the battle for second, Courtney Nelson trying to limp his way to a second place finish. The 44 of Bolin trying to reel him in. Nelson keeping a bit of a gap between the two. I think he's going to be able to hold on. For the final corner, Nelson, clear corner into the front stretch. Nelson going to take home the second spot. We're going to have Kyle Bolin in third. Dylan Hoffman going to take home fourth. The gambling man, Tom Ogle, rounding out the top 5. So there's your finish here tonight. Scott Rickard wins it. How about it? Let's take a look. Let's get the GOAT Scott Rickard in here. Hang on, folks. We're going to watch Scott take his victory lap around the speedway. But there's your unofficial results there on the screen. We're going to get the GOAT Scott Rickard up here into the booth. Dude, give him a quick little winner's interview. Then we're going to head out for the night. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's get him in here. Scott, Blake up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, I do.
Hey, how about it? Finally ending the cold spell. You're back in the victory lane here at Road America.
Yeah, I've been close a couple times this season. More than I probably was last time we did next runs in this league, but finally got one.
Well, hey, you had some great speed there all night long. Looked like the no tire stopped helped you out, and you had some pressure there on the 29, and he made an unfortunate mistake.
Yeah, that was the most fun I've had on a road course battling somebody in an next-gen car ever. And I didn't think I'd have speed on this track. I usually have hit or miss speed here, and I definitely did not think in this car I would have any.
Yeah, you definitely had consistency there. In practice, it looked like Nelson was going to be able to run away with it, but it seemed like every single lap you were pretty consistent, and that's what kept you up there.
Yeah, I can usually minimize my mistakes, at least if I make them for the most part, and I think that's what helped me keep at least close enough to them for the pit stop and everything to happen.
Well, hey, it's got to feel good locking yourself into the playoffs so you can start to focus on that. But, hey, before you head out, you got anything to add or any shout-outs?
Team Watson Racing setups. Everybody on my team, everybody puts the league on. I love racing, so it's fun to do every week.
Well, hey, congratulations. We appreciate you coming out here tonight, taking home the win at Road America. I'll let you head down with your team and celebrate.
Thank you.
There's the GOAT Scott Rickard, the 05 car, parking in victory lane as we watch him burn it down. He's going to blow that thing up. Once again, though, folks, we appreciate you tuning in, spending your Thursday night right here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. The Stars and Stripes Next Series. Next week, we're going to be back here, same time, same place. We're going to be at Darlington. Till then, I'm the GOAT, signing off, Blake Hutchinson.